स्टार्ट का काय अरे ऐक ना
May I please request Akanksha Narodi, Convention Officer of NOSPAN 2015, to kindly escort the honorable dignitaries to the dais. Respected Chief Guest, Mr. Arun Firodia, Dr. D.S. Mishram, Mr. Arun Patharkar, Mr. Rajan Kope, Director COEP Dr. B.B. Ahuja, Deputy Director COEP Mr. B.N. Chaudhary, Dean Student Affairs Dr. S.L. Patil, Faculty Advisor NOSPLAN Dr. Pratap Rawal, dignitaries on the dais, and to members of the floor. It is my distinguished pleasure to welcome each and every one of you to the inaugural ceremony of the 17th Annual NOSPLAN Convention 2015. An auspicious event like this mandates an auspicious start. I would hence like to request our dignitaries to please lead us in the Saraswati Puja.
या शुभ्र वस्त्रामृता या वीणावर दंडमंडितकरा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वंदिता सा
Before we move forward with our program, I would like to introduce our esteemed guest for the day. It is my proud privilege to welcome our chief guest for today, Mr. Arun Firodia. He is the chairman of Kinetic Group, India's leading manufacturers and exporters of two-wheelers. The recipient of the Padma Shri, he is also the founder-president of Pune Citizens Police Foundation, a member of the Executive Committee of Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers, and a member of Advisory Board of All India Sainik Welfare Association. May I please request Dr. Ahuja, our director, to kindly felicitate Mr. Firodia as a gesture of appreciation. Thank you, sir. I would now like to welcome Dr. D.S. Meshram, President, Institute of Town Planners, India. I would now like to welcome Dr. D.S. Meshram, President, Institute of Town Planners, India, and request our Director, Dr. Ahuja, to kindly felicitate Dr. Meshram.
We also have with us Mr. Arun Patharkar, former Director of Town Planning, Maharashtra State. We also have with us Mr. Arun Patharkar, former Director of Town Planning, Maharashtra State. I request our Deputy Director, Mr. Chaudhary, to felicitate Mr. Patharkar. I request our Dean Student Affairs, Dr. S.L. Patil, to please felicitate Mr. Patharkar. Thank you, sir. I would now like to welcome Mr. Rajan Ko, Director, Town Planning, Maharashtra State. I request our Dean Student Affairs, Dr. Patil, to please felicitate Mr. Ko. Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Rawar, sir, to felicitate our Director, Dr. Ahuja. I request Dr. Rawar sir to felicitate our Deputy Director, Mr. Chaudhary. I request Dr. Rawar sir to felicitate our Dean Student Affairs, Dr. Patil. Thank you, sir. I now request our course coordinator, Mrs. Neha Verma Madan, to felicitate Dr. Rawar. I request our convention officer, Ms. Akanksha Narode, to felicitate Mr. Shubham Agarwal, the president of NOSPLAN. Please join your hands together for all the distinguished members of the dais. We are extremely honored. We are extremely honored to have you all with us here today, and thank you for giving us your valuable time. Without any further ado, I request the President of NOSPLAN, Mr. Shubham Agarwal, to please inform the gathering about NOSPLAN and this year's convention, Abhyudaya.
Good morning, everyone. We would thank you, everyone, for coming out and taking out time out of your busy schedule for coming and participating in the convention and making it possible. First of all, on behalf of Executive Council and Advisory Board of NOSPLAN, I would like to thank Dr. Ahuja, Officiating Director of COEP, Dr. Patil, Dr. Bhosle, Dr. Rawal, all members present on the dais, all the faculty members, and the complete organizing team of COEP for providing us opportunity and taking responsibility of hosting this convention in this prestigious institution. Indeed, it is a great honor for us and a proud moment that we all have gathered here to mark the beginning of 17th Annual Convention. Being the President, I would like to share some brief history of the organization, as the history dates back to 1970s, which you might not be aware of. The organization dates back to 1970s, when only a few of the institutes were imparting planning knowledge in the country. At that time, the need for having a student organization was felt, where various professionals, field experts, faculty members, and students would come together and share their views with each other, which would help students to grow and ultimately make planning profession better. This was to be achieved through informal meets and the discussions which would take place. But this idea did not continue, and the idea of having the organization faded after a few years. Then in 1993, the idea was revived by SPA Delhi and IIT Kharagpur in the form of conventions which took place regularly since then. In the beginning, convention took place in the alternate years, and realizing its importance and the growing need, we thought to have the conventions every year. The objective of the organizations was redefined to help towards advancement, dissemination, and application of knowledge of planning, among the other objectives. The institutions imparting planning education grew over this time, and the organization also grew, but still the number of active participants, member colleges in the organization was limited to 6 to 7 colleges. Thereafter, in 2008, students from SPA Delhi took the initiative and got the organization registered, which expanded the scope and working of the organization. It is worth mentioning that the growth of the organization in the last 3 years is remarkable. In the past 3 years, we started publishing annual magazine newsletters. The number of active member institutes grew from 8 to 18. This growth was possible only because of the continuous support we received from the institutes, the faculty members and the students. Annual convention being the focus area is crucial for fulfilling the objectives of the organization. Every convention have a name and theme associated with it according to which discussion take place. In 2013, we had convention at Institute of Development Studies, University of Mysore, in which the name of convention was Anusandhan, meaning research. In that convention, the theme was Safe Cities, and with the focus on making cities resilient and safer. Then last year in SPA Bhopal, we had the name of convention as Samavesh, which means integration and amalgamation, and the theme of the convention was inclusive cities. Then this year at COEP, we have Abhyudaya, meaning moving towards betterment for happiness and prosperity, and we consider this to be appropriate as happiness is the ultimate goal in life. Also, the theme for this year convention is moving towards smart cities. We chose this keeping in mind the increased discussion over the topic and the need of the hour. College of Engineering, Pune took the initiative to host this convention this year. CO became our member in 2013 and since then participated actively and has contributed significantly to the organization. We got various opportunities to interact with the various faculty members and the students, and each of our interaction was fruitful. Now, not taking much of your time, again I would like to thank everyone for coming here and participating. Let's make this convention better than ever. Thank you.
Thank you, Shubham. We shall now hear from the person who has been a constant guiding force in the preparations leading to this grand event, along with the contribution from the entire planning faculty. I would like to request Dr. Rawar, Faculty Advisor for NOSPLAN, to please say a few words.
Good morning and welcome to COEP. Today's chief guest, Arun Firodia sir. Guest of honor, Dr. Meshram sir, President of our ITPI, who is a driving force for town planning profession in India. Sri Rajan Kop, Director, Town Planning and Valuation, Maharashtra State, who kindly agreed to come for this function. Sri A.R. Patharkar, former Director of Town Planning and Valuation, Maharashtra State. Our Director, Professor Ahuja, then Deputy Director Chaudhary sir, then Dean S.L. Patil sir, and my dear friends. Indeed, it is a great pleasure for me that NOSPLAN convention is arranged in COEP. This is the year to commemorate planning education in COEP. Our PG program is completing 50 years, and first batch of BTech planning course is going to pass out this academic year. This is the proudest occasion for us in the history of COEP that convention, that 17th convention is arranged in COEP. I am glad that all of you are present in this year of Golden Jubilee celebration. I became a planner because I had utopian views, the emotional views, that the planning could improve the quality of life and give people the voice about what they live. As we know that cities is a challenge. Cities are centered for their people, their lives, and should foster the creativity, innovation, collaboration to become inclusive for them, enabling them be at the center of the decision making, supporting the democratic state. Therefore, we are in the time when we must move away from focus on technology to develop more holistic understanding that allow us to appreciate the value and actual role of citizens in smart city vision. NOSPLAN convention is a base platform to generate new ideas, innovation in the field of smart city planning. Your idea have immense importance. It is important to celebrate good ideas and special place to illustrate the impact that the good planning has had. There is one last thing I wanted to say to all students: be radical in your ideas. Like the earliest and the most successful planners of 100 years ago, you are the policy makers of the future, and you don't need to follow the status quo but challenge it. Also, I like to request Director Cope sir that since the Maharashtra does not have any planning school, our first batch is actually coming out, and in a department there should be some space for them. So the RR need changes that these B plan students must find a place, and their opportunities could be increased. So at the end, I wish all pleasant stay in campus and have fruitful deliberations, fun, enjoy 3 days in sporting spirit, and carry mesmerizing moment with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have with us Mr. Rajan Kope, the respected Director of Town Planning, Maharashtra State. He completed his elementary education from Private High School, Kolhapur, and is an alumnus of Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli. He did his M.Plan with specialization in urban planning from SPA Delhi as the government-sponsored officer. Being an officer of the Town Planning Department, he has also worked on opportunities and challenges pertaining to urban renewal, development of special townships, IT policy, and many more. I request Cope sir to please say a few words.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dias, and all my friends who have come from every corner of our country. I am always prepared, sir. I just told them that the sequence I was the last. I don't know how I have been put. Yes. Anyway, friends, for me, as been rightly even said by Dr. Rawal, that it's a proud moment for us to be with you all, because we often meet. It's very rare that we meet the students. So it's a proudest moment for us, even for me, that you are all here to deliberate, discuss the more complex urban issues, and of course, the concept of smart city, moving towards a smart city. I welcome all of you on behalf of me and on behalf of the state and Department of Town Planning to this city of culture, city of education, IT hub, as you all know. Friends, maybe you're aware, but still, at the cost of repetition, I must tell you that Maharashtra is the pioneer state in the urban planning. We started, town planning schemes way back in 1915, when the first ever town planning legislation was enacted in the form of Bombay Town Planning Act 1915, which was further repealed by the Act of 1954 and subsequently by the Act of 1966, where now it has been made compulsory to prepare a regional plan for the district, a development plan for the city, and the town planning schemes in the cities for implementation of town development plan. As a matter of fact, we have been in the process of modifying or amending the Act to bring at par the provisions at par with the Gujarat Act, which we felt that the better implementation part is done at Gujarat through town planning schemes. Well, We are again pioneer in introducing some of the concepts which I must tell you, because you are going to deliberate on the issue of smart cities. We evolved concepts like TDR, that is transferable development rights. We evolved concepts like accommodation reservation, through which we attempted the proper and faster implementation of the development plan. In around 2004, we introduced, this has a relevance with your topics, that's why I'm just putting it prior to this. We introduced a very innovative concept of special townships in the state, which was self-sustainable. We have introduced the new concept of integrated industrial townships, wherein you have 60% of the land of the total acreage to be used for industrial purpose and 40% for other than industrial purpose. We have recently come out with the new IT policy, wherein you have an integrated IT township, purely devoted for the IT sector. And such policies are coming out, and we as planners should be should cope up with the pace of development and pace the requirement of various sectors. Dr. Rawals just told you people that I should look into this issue. But I must tell you, I have the RR, that is recruitment rule, with me. At least for assistant town planner, we have introduced Bachelor of Urban Planning as one of the essential qualifications to become assistant town planner. That is in 2011. As I remember, I recollect, it has been introduced at the lowermost level. It must be there in town planners and LTPs and so on and so forth. So there are opportunities for you in government sector, in governmental agencies like Mumbai Metropolitan Regional Development Authority, like CIDCO, like PMRDA, like PCNTDA. PCNTDA is Pimpri-Chinchwad New Town Development Authority. We have created the cadre of town planner in all municipal corporations in the state, all municipal councils in the state, and they require. There is dearth of planners. I mean, this profession is going to acquire the most of the respect which we have been demanding from government. You will be, required at any organization like this, and even in private sector, because we are going through the process of privatization, public-private partnerships, wherein your services will be essential. So you must thoroughly go through the provisions of the Act, provisions of the regulations, and when you approach to a smart city concept, your major theme is moving towards smart city, and one of the sub-themes is planning. Sub-themes is planning. So how are you going to develop a smart city? How are you going to reach your goal? The smart city essentially has three components, if I mistake not. One of them is physical planning, second is infrastructure, and the third one is IT. The first one is very essential. The spatial planning, it is to be designed by you, it is to be planned by you, and for which these concepts like town planning scheme, wherein you pull the land together, reconstitute the plots and redistribute them to the original owners. That is a concept wherein it is essential for you to learn all these concepts so as to reach the goal. The smart city, in my opinion, of course, when I was discussing with the then secretary, what would be a smart city? In short, it should be sustainable. S will stand for sustainable, M may stand for mobility, A for affordability, R for responsiveness, and T for the transparency in services. So if these 5 constituents are plugged together, I am thankful I have reached you. I am happy that I have reached you. These 5 constituents are sustainability, mobility, affordability, responsiveness, that is 24/7 responsiveness by the local authority, and T for transparency. These 5 constituents will form a part of a smart city, and you will reach this goal. And you have to concentrate on each and every aspect of this smart city in physical planning, infrastructure, and IT. So these town planning scheme concept or a special township. Special township will necessarily come in greenfield. So greenfield projects can be considered to be a smart city project. The housing, affordability comes in housing. So housing, as a matter of fact, you must have already gone through the new policies which have been evolved at center and even at the state level. We are floating new policies to come up for make the housing affordable. If it is a constituent, you must learn how to provide for a affordable housing component. These are few issues I wanted to just tell you, because I know in coming 4 or 5 sessions you will be deliberating on these components, and at the end of the day, if you can come out with some concrete suggestions. This is a forum where you can throw your ideas, you can discuss your ideas. I know there is one brainstorming session as well. So you come out with any drastic suggestions in any form there. But at the end of the day, at the end of this your convention, you come out with some concrete suggestions which you may send to COEP through your organization. They will send it to us. You can directly send it to us, which will help in formulation of the policies at state level. You are the planners. You have to contribute in formation of policies also at state level. You have to implement the policies. There is huge burden on you people. So how a city is going to grow towards smart city? There was one WhatsApp post on what I received from somebody. WhatsApp has become a very effective social media, if you consider. They say computer is smart. Computer is smart. Why computer is smart? Because it listens to its motherboard. A city will grow. Computer is smart because it listens to the motherboard. A city will grow if it listens to you people. City will go in a direction you design, you plan for that. So you have to, give direction to the city. It is for you, and that's why this is a forum I thought proper to, convey my feelings to you, that learn more, deliberate more, discuss more, and come out with some kind of concrete suggestions to government, which will definitely be considered by us. Once again, I welcome you to this city, and thankful to the organizing committee for allowing me coming over here, firstly inviting me here and address the next generation planners. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I would now like to request the person who facilitated the conducting of this grand event, our respected director, sir, Dr. B.B. Ahuja, to please address this distinguished gathering.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. Arun Firodia, chief guest for today's function. Dr. D.S. Meshram, President of the Institute of Town Planners. Mr. Arun Patharkar, Dr. Rajan Ko, Dr. Chaudhary, Dr. S.L. Patil, Professor Rawal, Shubham, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming you all to this 17th annual convention of National Organization of Students for Planning. I'm happy that this is happening at College of Engineering, Pune, COEP, which is reckoned with a glorious past and replete with outstanding contribution by our alumni. Sir Bharat Ratna, Sir M. Visvesvaraya, Padma Shri Shri B.G. Shirke, Padma Shri Mrs. Griga Poonawala, Padma Bhushan Shri Vijay Kelkar, Padma Shri Dr. Sanjay Dhande, and many of our other alumni have done the college proud. And this tradition, as I see, is much maintained. And I'm happy to see that the students organize this convention when they're just in their final year. As Professor Raval mentioned a little while ago, that this is something very unique in the country, and unique and probably at College of Engineering, Pune, that we first started a postgraduate program 50 years ago in town and country planning, and it's only as late as 4 years ago, the then Minister of Education, Mr. Tope, Rajesh Tope, he called up and he said, we don't have a course in planning in Maharashtra. Why not COEP take this lead and initiate this new course and introduce this new course? We were a little skeptical, little hesitant, because we said we have a postgraduate course which is more to do with engineering and technology, and now we have to look at a course in BTech planning. We don't have the infrastructure, we don't have the facilities, and the government wants us to start this new course. But he kept insisting, and so we started this course, and I'm very happy that the batch hasn't even rolled out. It's only in its final year, and they have managed to organize this big event with more than 800 participation. A big round of applause from all of us here also for all our students for doing this wonderful convention. Abudaya, as you move towards progress, you also move towards planning smarter cities. And Mr. Rajan Kop just mentioned that these also need to be sustainable. So all that we have to do is, as we grow smarter in preparing for smart cities for our country, we have to make sure that the resources that are available are optimized, and we make sure that we provide for smart governance, we provide for smart infrastructure, we provide for smart mobility, we provide for smart living, not forgetting that we also need to provide for a smart environment. And I'm sure through this student participation, over the next 4 days, you would discuss and deliberate and participate in a number of events and come out with, as Mr. Cope said, you just have to come out with a crazy plan as to what you want to, or how you want to see your city and villages to develop in this country. He mentioned that there is a lot of provision in the government organizations where you can take up job. In 2011, when we were asked to start this course, I was then told that there are about, there's a demand of about 40,000 planners in the country in 2011. That was the demand then. I'm sure it would have grown now. And all that we are going to churn out from this college is only 60 or 70 planners. That's about it. So there's a huge demand, and there's a lot to be done, and all rests in your hands. And I'm sure during these 4 days you will come out with wonderful plans that will help evolve the villages and cities of our country. I wish this convention the very best for these next 4 days. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I now request our Deputy Director, Mr. B.N. Chaudhary, to please address the gathering.
Good morning. On the behalf of College of Engineering Pune and all its stakeholders, I welcome you all for this 17th convention. I am told that it's almost, this convention received 500 participation from outside, from all states, from all corners of the country. Friends, you are in the great campus, a campus having a legacy of 161 years, a campus which graduated the great planner of the country, Sir Visvesvaraya. Known for his all big contributions, in the very beginning, at the very important stage, his contributions are known. Similarly, this college also had a faculty which has planned the Boribandar station, known as VT station, and a icon of a planning, what vision a planner should have. It's demonstrated, and that Boribandar station planning was done in our main building by the then faculty. So this campus has a great history, and we believe that the future of the country or the prosperity of the country or the growth of country is in the planner's hand. What happens in a planning commission decides largely the future, and that's why planning community is important to us, because we believe wars are won by the generals, rarely by the soldiers. Planning plays very important role, and that's why, as our director pointed out, we decided to induct this course, and it is indeed a happy moment, as though the course is at very primitive stage. This young batch, which is facing several challenges, has come forward and shown a leadership in planning this event. My congratulations to Akanksha and her team for arranging this. I know how tough is your life, because you are the first batch, you have all resource limitations, challenges of infrastructure. We yet do not have enough faculty members on the board. However, your progress has been spectacular, and this is good demonstration. It's said that the rough waters make good sailors. Indeed, you are proving it. I again welcome you all, and wish a very bubbling stay, and I wish you to deliberate. It's a good opportunity, because there is a representation from different corners of the world, right? Wish you all best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would now like to request our Dean Student Affairs, Dr. S.L. Patil, to please address the gathering.
Dignitaries on the dais, student participants, I take this opportunity to welcome you all to COEP. First of all, I congratulate Shubham, Akanksha, and team NOSPLAN organizing committee and BTech student for organizing this NOSPLAN 2015 convention at COEP. I am confident that the NOSPLAN 2015 convention will be a grand success. The theme of the NOSPLAN convention is identify moving towards smart cities, which is aptly matches with the vision of India. I hope that the students and participants from various institutes will enjoy learning beyond classroom teaching during this convention through academic, extracurricular and co-curricular activities. I hope that students enjoy this 4-day stay at COEP. I am certain that this convention will definitely leave behind memories and knowledge to cherish for your future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We are lucky to have with us Dr. D.S. Meshram, who is a pioneer in the field of planning. He is the president of the ITPI Council and the chairman of the Board of Studies in Town Planning, AICTE. Dr. Meshram was also the chief planner of the Town and Country Planning Organization. I hereby request him to please inspire us with a few words.
Thank you. The dignitaries on the dais, Mr. Arun Firodia, chief guest of today's session. Then my earlier colleague, Mr. Arun Patharkar, the present colleague, Mr. Rajan Ko, Dr. B.B. Ahuja, Director COEP, Shri Chaudhary ji, Shri Patil Sahab, and of course the Dean of the faculty over here, and Shubham. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my proud privilege to be amongst you today. Actually, I recall the days during 1969 when the Congress of the Institute of Town Planners India took place in the Trivandrum in the year 1969. It was decided by the Institute of Town Planners India to form the National Association of the Town and Country Planning Students. After that, as said by the Shubham, so many times attempts were made, and ultimately the NOS plan has emerged. And I am very happy today that so many students, more than 500, have already gathered from the different schools of the planning, and then they are organizing their national convention. Specifically, the 17th one you have devoted for the Abhyudaya. That really shows the challenge as far as the Abhyudaya is concerned of the NOS plan theme, specifically smart cities. A lot has been said about the smart cities, the earlier speakers. I am not going to give you the doses of the technicalities, definitely not. But I will share some of my thoughts, general thoughts about the Bachelor of Planning and of course the planning discipline in the country. And then I will say a few words about the smart cities, because a lot has been said. You go to any city, any congress, any platform, you will hear that the Congress is there, the technical sessions are there on the smart cities. As if smart city is there only to stay with us, definitely not, and that is what I am going to share with you. If you allow me to start with the smart cities, the smart city concept is very hazy. There is no definite definition of the smart city. What do you understand by the smart city? If you wanted the city to be driven by the ICT, whether it is really going to make a city smart? Is it the only single component which is going to make your city smart? So many concepts are derived in this particular country, not only in our country but the abroad also. The first concept of the city was the green city, then the garden city, then came the healthy city, then came the cities like sustainable cities, then came your inclusive cities, then came your safe cities. All these concepts which have been derived by the pioneers, these concepts are not really enforceable today? Are they outdated? Can you really expect a smart city which is not safe? Are you going to live in the smart city which is not at all safe to you? Are you going to live in the smart city which is not healthy city? Definitely not, gentlemen. So these are the concepts which are being derived, and you just cannot depend only on the one aspect of the city development, that is ICT driven, but definitely you have to really think in terms, when you think in terms of the smart cities, you have to have the city affordable. Mr. Rajan Pope has already said, you have to have so many other aspects as the planning is concerned, and that is what is required to be really seen as far as the smart cities are concerned. Now I will quote you the certain examples. If you wanted to have a city smart, whether you don't wanted to have the planning system also smart, definitely for meeting the challenges of the smart city, you should have the planning system also the smart. But then I remember still the days when we prepared in this particular country the first master plan, that was the master plan of the Delhi, the process of which was started in the year 1951. And the first master plan of the Delhi came into the force in the 1962. So what I wanted to impress is that the preparation of the master plan, that is collection of the data, chain surveying, table mapping and all these things has taken long 10 years as far as Delhi is concerned. By the time it came into the force, that information whatever we collected, the data whatever we collected, that got outdated, and that is what the process is at that time. So now this particular concept of the smart cities has come, so definitely we have to switch over to the smart cities, not only the smart cities but smart technologies, that is the remote sensing, GIS, GPS, All these things are required to be incorporated as far as our planning curricula is concerned, our planning syllabus is concerned, and then only we'll think in terms of making our cities smart. Unless you make our planning system also smart, it is not going to achieve the aims and objectives of the making this city smart also. Well, gentlemen, to say a few words about the Institute of Town Plans India. Institute of Town Plans India came into the existence in the year 1951. At that time, there are hardly 10 to 15 town planners, and these town planners have not studied in India, but they studied abroad. And they came together and thought that we must have the Institute of Town Plans India, because at that time there was no school of the planning in India, and they thought that unless and until we come together and form the Institute of Town Planners, it will not be possible to really see that the planning profession progresses. And then came the Institute of Town Plans India in the year 1952 into the existence. Since then, what we have been doing is that we are recognizing the schools. The first schools of the planning and architecture, that is at the Delhi, was established on the initiation of the Institute of Town Plans India. The Town and Country Planning Organization of the Government of India was also instituted on the recommendations of the Institute of Town Plans India. And the first legislation of the Town and Country Planning, that is we call it as a model legislation, also has been drafted by the Institute of Town Plans India in the year 1951. Now, to encourage the town and country planning education, we have already started National Best Thesis Award, which is given on the name of Professor V. N. Prasad, who was the first professor from the IIT Kharagpur. On his name we started this particular prize, and this is given to the postgraduate students. The second one we started because in the year 1988 we started the Bachelor of Planning course, and that was also on the initiation of the Institute of Town Plans India. I remember in the year 1987, we called on the then Secretary of the Ministry of Education, Government of India, and we said, sir, we have to start the Bachelor of Planning course, now you call it as a BTech Planning course. Then he asked me the two questions, because I was the first person to go to the Secretary along with Professor Saini, who was the head of the Department of the School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi. Then Secretary asked me the first question, Meshram, if you give me the answer of 3 questions and if I get satisfied with your answer, definitely we will allow to start the Bachelor of Planning course. The first question he asked, why you wanted the Bachelor of Planning course? I said, sir, because everybody says, if I ask the question, Mr. So and so, you are a planner. He said, no sir, I am an architect planner. The second gentleman will come and he will say, no sir, I am an engineer planner. Third gentleman will come and say, no sir, I am a geographer planner. So I wanted a pure breed of the planners, and unless and until you start the Bachelor of Planning course, this profession is not going to flourish. That is what I argued to the Secretary at that time. Then he said, Meshram, supposing if you start the Bachelor of Planning course, where they are going to get the employment? Because any course if you want to start it, because the course is really market driven, and unless you have got a market, as far the Bachelor of Planning course is concerned, we are not going to start it. I only submitted to him at that time. At that time, in the year 1987, I am talking about, the number of the towns were more than 3,000. And at that time, the number of the planners was hardly 600. So I said, sir, if we produce only 200 town and country planners every year, to get the requirement which was at that time more than 9,000, we are going to take another 50 years. And we have already spent almost 30 to 40 years, and we have only produced hardly 500 town and country planners, and that is why there is a need. If you employ only a single town planner in one town, we are not having that number sufficient, and that is why there is a need that we must start the Bachelor of Planning course. He got satisfied with the answers, and he has given the permission to start the Bachelor of Planning course, and we started in the year 1988 in the School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi. Recently, they have celebrated the silver jubilee of starting of the Bachelor of Planning course by the School of Planning and Architecture in the last week only. That was followed by the Guru Nanak Dev University, and they also started in the year 1989 Bachelor of Planning course, and they are also going to celebrate their silver jubilee within 2-3 months. So, and then it was brought up by the Schools of Planning and Architecture. We started 2 new Schools of Planning and Architecture. That was also on the initiation of the Institute of Town Plans India. because Ministry of Human Resource Development wanted to start the new schools of planning and architecture, but they wanted to prepare the DPR. They approached to the Institute of Town Planners. They said, Meshramji, can you prepare the DPR for starting the new schools? I said, yes sir, in the larger interest of the profession, I will definitely prepare the DPR. After that, we had prepared the DPR and we submitted to the Ministry of Human Resource Development. We gave the presentation to the then Planning Commission, and the Planning Commission have really started 2 schools of the planning and architecture. One is in the Bhopal and another in the Vijayawada. So these are the schools which have been started by the initiation of the Institute of Town Planners India. And then, gentlemen, it is now really progressing. At that time, we started only with 1 school of planning and architecture, New Delhi. We have got now more than 25 schools of planning. Those are imparting town and country planning education throughout the country. That is what really an achievement as far as the institute is concerned. Well, gentlemen, my submission to the Honorable Director who is present over here, he has very kindly agreed that Bachelor of Planning should be the basic qualifications for the recruitment rules for any of the job, not only in the Maharashtra. I know that Maharashtra is the leading state as far as the town planning is concerned, but my humble submission to all the state governments that Bachelor of Planning should be the basic qualification for deploying or for employing these students of the planning in any of the state governments. I earlier had the opportunity to discuss this particular Bachelor of Planning course to be started as a basic qualification in the recruitment rules. At that time, the honorable member who is present on the dais, Mr. Patharkar, was the director of the Town Planning and Evaluation Department. I requested him, but then he gave a very goal-mole answer to me. Meshramji, in the Maharashtra, we don't have the Bachelor of Planning course, and that is why at this particular juncture, we don't want to have the Bachelor of Planning course as a basic qualification. But now I am happy that there is a Bachelor of Planning course, and Mr. Cope has really done that wonderful job, that giving the basic qualification of the Bachelor of Planning as far as the recruitment rules are concerned. So my hats up to Mr. Rajan Cope. Thank you, Mr. Rajan Cope, for taking the initiation as far as this particular aspect is concerned. Institute of Town Planners India runs the course which is known as the Associateship of the Institute of Town Planners India, that is equivalent to the MTech of Masters in Town and Country Planning, which has been recognized by the Government of India as the equivalent course to the Masters course, and this is what is being done. Now the question comes, we have been producing so many planners. We started from the 15 town and country planners in the country. Now we have got today more than 5,000 town and country planners in our country. And now, gentlemen, as far as the one of the committees set up by the Ministry of Human Resource Development under Professor E.F.N. Rivero, Director School of Planning and Architecture, I happen to be the member on that particular committee. The requirement of the town and country planners by the year 2031 will be more than 40,000 town and country planners are required. So I am very sure that you are going to get the job. Kindly don't worry for that. And it is the survival of the fittest. So kindly prove that you are the fittest on the earth and nobody else can be parallel to you. That is what is required to be done. Let me share with you, at present we have got more than 7,000 towns and cities. And we have got hardly 5,000 town planners. So even if one town planner is deployed in one of the town, we require today itself more than 7,000 town and country planners. Forget about the 5 lakhs villages for which also the plans are required to be prepared. In addition to that, there are 600 districts for which district plans are to be required to be prepared, because under the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts, it is mandatory to prepare the district plans, and there are over 600 districts as far as India is concerned. So as for the future of the planners, I see it is very rosy. So gentlemen, we have to really achieve in this direction, and my humble submission to each one of you, those who are the students, you are not the students, because after a year, those who are at the postgraduate level, you are going to become the member of the Institute of Town Planners. You are actually the ambassador of the planning course, and that is what I really foresee from you. With these words, I am very much thankful to the organizers for giving me the opportunity to share some of my views with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We have with us our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Arun Firodia, the Chairman of Kinetic Group, India's leading manufacturers and exporters of two-wheelers. Mr. Arun Firodia obtained his B.Tech with distinction in electrical engineering from IIT Bombay in 1965. He later went to the United States of America for completion of MS in electrical engineering from MIT and also completed MS in management from Sloan School of Management. Recipient of the Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian award in 2012, he inherits the rich tradition of his illustrious father, late Sri H.K. Firodia, the doyen of Indian automobile industry, who developed vehicles for common people at affordable prices. Mr. Arun Firodia started the flagship company, Kinetic Engineering Limited, where he developed India's first totally indigenous moped, Luna, which became an instant hit with the consumers and has become an all-time success story. Mr. Arun Firodia is the founder chairman of H.K. Firodia Memorial Foundation, which recognizes and awards outstanding Indian scientists for their original contributions and world-class work in any branch of science. Mr. Firodia sets an exemplary example for all of us to follow. We are overjoyed to have someone so accomplished amongst us today. Sir, you are an inspiration to all of us, and NOSPLAN is grateful to you for honoring us with your presence. I would now like to request Mr. Firodia to address the gathering.